So it's just like back in the day, except of course there's a few extra things here. So here we are out the box.
Transformers reviews, tech in the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
People, this is Influence. Today I have Takara Tomy missing link. We all know what this is. This is the G1 Optimus that has articulation, unlike the G1. So we're going to get into this. Not much to say. I didn't even fool with it yet. I ain't transforming. I'm going to transform it on camera. Hopefully I can get it right. I think there's a couple changes, but not much from the G1. So let's jump in. First, let's go over some accessories. He has 2 sprues. This was the tire for roller, which is inside the trailer. And this is some missiles for the sentry thing inside the trailer. You get a booklet. It's kind of like back in the day when you had the booklet showing you what's going to come out or what is out. So there's a couple things there. You have a card that's really flimsy. It's a really flimsy card, so be careful with that. And you have this for the box tech specs like back in the day. I will show that in a minute. You get this, which is the directions, or which are the directions, I should say. And looking at the directions, it basically transforms exactly how I think it would. So we're not going to use those. And you get some stickers. Now, I did see some stuff on him already. I'm not sure what the stickers are for. Maybe more for the trailer. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to look in the book and figure that out. Here's the matrix. It's cool. It's hollow. It's plastic. It's gold plastic. And it does, it's not see-through though, so it does do that. You get his rifle, which looks good. Looks like Prime's rifle. I really like the way it looks. It's actually a different design, I think. I'm gonna get the original. And you get his Energon axe that never came with the original. And here's the box. Box art is pretty nice. Back here you have this G1 nugget where you can tell his tech specs when you put this over. So there's that and some product shots. And there's the trailer comparison. Some differences. The tires feel better on the new one, of course. This is a reissue, so basically a KO. It doesn't have any type of nubs to keep this closed, so it's really easy to open. This opens harder, and the top is together better on the missing link, of course. Again, just showing some comparisons. Their guns are definitely different. This one from Missing Link is way better than this little pea shooter. It's just more of a representative of Optimus's gun to me. Put this over here for now. And here is the cab. So I will compare this cab with the cab over here. So yeah, they're pretty much the same. You can see they do have differences. This one feels like it's better, a better build. It also goes together better and looks better around this area. I'm assuming that's because of the maybe articulation. Chrome is better. This is older. Wheels. You can see the underside. Slightly different due to the articulation. This is the original. Also, his fists are in here. Here, I assume he can bend down, but then you can put the matrix in, and I will do that now. and then the matrix is in there. Get this guy transformed, which shouldn't be an issue. Let's see. No directions. I mean, there are directions, I'm just not using them. So open this like this. I did check them out though, so you gotta spread it apart to get these out. Whoa. So I'm cutting this in because I missed this during the transformation. This joint right here spreads apart, so the legs are farther apart and it goes together when you're transforming it back. Put these up, put these up. Pull this out here. Back a little. Does these go out like that? This is forward, and his hands are flipped out, and there we go. Man, ratchet joints. This is wild. Hands flipped out is wild to have hands. Then head flipped around. Still has the open back. And I did peruse the directions a little. So how you do this, move this out like that, put it in his hand, kind of how they always done it, and then move that around there. And then his gun, of course, goes in the peg. And there he is, looking great. And let's compare the two original with this one. This one actually looks a little taller, tiny bit taller, tiny bit bigger. I'm sure because of some of the stuff they had to do, the legs are a little different just because of the stuff that they had to do, I'm sure. Now for the, you still got these that come out like that. They come out like this. You can either put them all the way up so they support a little better, or you can pull them out like this. I like to pull them out like that. And this, pull that down, pull this out, and here you go. And here's Roller. You had to put his tires on, but he rolls. He has his gas tank. Looks pretty nice. And here's this thing. And I think this thing comes off. I'm not sure. No, maybe not. I thought it did, but it doesn't have the thing here like the old one. So I'll just compare the old one really quickly. Here's the old one. And you can see Roller just blue instead of silver. And it still has this thing right here. This is just much more way better as far as tolerance goes. And this is what I'm talking about, this thing right here that you can push back, and then there's a spot there that launches. Roller, always like that. Does everything you would expect. Has the claw, has the satellite communications array or whatever you call it. This opens, I believe. There we go, for a Diaclone pilot, because that's what it's for. So take this out and we'll do articulation, and then we'll be done. So it's really cool to see articulation in this guy. His head does spin around. It goes up on this thing, but not up really. Arms go all the way around, which is cool right here. So you can get his arm all the way out like that. He has a bicep swivel right there, just wild. It's 90 degrees on the elbow, and it has a ratchet. The fist, the fingers move out, they're all on the same, and then he has a thumb that's just fixed, and you can move them in a little bit. Just do the transformation. Waist, he has a waist swivel. which is wild. So the tires come up, I'm assuming maybe to get the legs out a little bit better so they're not just fixed. You do have a waist swivel back and forth. You have a ab crunch, which is what's going on here. It's a tight crunch though. Whew. So yeah, you see that, and then you can crunch right there. Then these legs, of course, goes back, but then they go forward. So he does the hurdles. Side to side. That's why you can get these out, kind of the skirts. He almost does the full splits, which is wild to see a G1 transformer like that. He has swivel up here. This is funny. He has a ratchet for his knee that gets you a lot, way more than 90. Feet, of course, go down like that on the toe, and then they rock, actually 360, so you can get the big rocker. And heel spurs, doesn't have heel spurs, look like heel spurs. I think that's it for this thing. This thing is pretty cool. G1 Optimus that actually is articulated. All right, so if you enjoyed this review, please let me know and I will get up with you in another one. I thank you for joining me. Peace.
You know, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you're alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.